Greetings everyone, Marvin 4 here with another Great American Survival video, and in this week's episode we're going to show you how to oil your baitcaster using Lucas Fishing Reel Oil. Very cool stuff. Guys, stick with us. I'll tell you all about it. This video is intended for all ages. So as we were saying, today we are going to be showing you how to lubricate and do all the access lubing on your bait casters. Now it doesn't matter if it's a Lew's or Shimano or a Cast King or anything like that. This case it is a Ducket. This is from a Ducket Pro Driven combo. Very nice reel. But the secret for any of it is just all the little pivot points all should have oil on them. The worm gear on the front, I will say, when it comes from the factory, it usually has grease packed in there, but after a while it just goes away. But the more water you're around, and especially you're talking about your worm gear, all that oil, grease has a tendency, even unless it's marine grade grease, is going to absorb that moisture. This one right here, I was fishing and it got wet. Now the inside, I opened the inside and it was still very green, which was the color of the grease that it was installed with. So all I'm going to do today is I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to wipe the inside of it out with my prep wipes and clean it out, and then we're going to re-oil the places that need to be re-oiled. So we're going to get started. Now, first off, what you're going to need is, I use alcohol wipes. You can get them at, from lunches and dinners and whatever you might need. We got some reel oil from Lucas. Got a couple Q-tips we'll need. I got a little Swiss Army knife in case I need to grab something small. I use the little tweezers that are on there. They come in really handy. Got a little multi-tool that has flathead, Phillips head, little screwdriver, and a small wrench that usually works for most of these when it comes to the size. It's usually a 10 millimeter or I think it's like 7/16. So we're going to get started. I'm going to take this apart now. Don't forget, now even though this has those little you want to make sure you even get in here and lube these right in here, where your knobs on your crank arms are. We want to get those. But this one, we're going to come in, we're going to turn this, spin it loose to take the side cover off first. And once that happens, once it's out far enough, you'll know because it'll slide. And then once it does, this goes up and then turns like that. So it turns and then comes off like that. And on the inside, you can see the brakes. You can see you got a little pivot here for the worm gear, all of that. But what we want mostly to do is take that spool out, check it out, make sure everything's good. There we go. And as you see, still nice, still well lubricated, good. Had me concerned I didn't want to ruin my reel. So what I'm going to do, I got the little side cover here. I'm just going to take this, go around the outside, around the bearing, come around the inside of this just to get that out. See what I mean? Just that quick. Yeah. Try not to leave any of the fuzz from that in there if you can. We're going to take the little wet wipe out. Like I said, I get these at like Shane's Rib Shack and stuff like that. So it comes in really handy when you're doing stuff like this. So like I said, boom. Now I'm going to take all these while they're drying. After I wipe them with alcohol, you got to let them dry a little bit. And then you'll be able to put them back together. Come in here, wipe the inside of this, wipe the inside here. And all I want to do is make sure that this down in here stays situated where we want. We're good. And you got your worm gear. Now I don't advise using a Q-tip for the worm gear. Just don't move it. You can move the Q-tip and then just kind of move that a little bit, then do it again. And then, because you got to get the line guide out of your way. And just come over here. Now, since I'm not going to be doing any of that, I'm just going to lube this up while I'm here, because all I wanted to do is clean it. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to put a couple drops right here in this corner. Then I'm going to reel this, get the worm gear to the other side, and do the same thing. Doesn't take much. And then boom, just like that. Anywhere you have a pivot, you just want to put a drop. Let it twist it around it a little bit. Make sure it's in there. Down here, we got where the spool is going to pivot. We're going to drop one down in the shaft itself, and then one on the side bearing. That way we don't have to deal with anything with that later. Now, since we got the spool out, we're going to come over here. We're going to lube that, put one there, one on the other side. There we go. Doesn't take much. Boom. Clip that guy in there. Now we're going to come over here and do the same thing. Got another bearing. Anywhere you find a bearing, just put a drop of oil. I put one on each side, just like that. Then when it starts spinning, it'll just spread better. Boom. Make sure that's out and it'll turn right into place. You just run that back in. Pivots. Very nice. Now, come in here. We're going to take this off. Just remember, however you take it off, put it back on that same way. If you need to, take photos just to remind yourself. Don't take it personally. Don't let your pride mess up your reel. As you see, I'm just taking mine off just like that. Take the crank arm off. Boom. Make sure you keep track of that. That's got a little spacer on there. Boom. Then this, you're going to back this out, and it's going to spin off that bolt, off that shaft. Once it gets past the first part, it just kind of spins a little easier. There we go. This just comes straight off. Jeez. Yeah. Look at this guy. That way. Boom. Then we're just going to come through. Sorry. All right, now we're back. Wipe all that down. Get it all clean. Nice. And that's one of the mains. So we're just going to come right up here where it's got a little cutout. Boom. A little bit here. Boom. And then we're just going to reassemble it. Same way we took it apart. Just like that, we start reassembly. This guy. Pay attention, because you don't want to damage the brass on this. So you got to be careful. Just don't, if it doesn't feel right, if it's not going on, don't force it. And we're just going to run this back down the same way we found. Make sure your threads are right. See? Because it'll try. There we go. That's how you know if you're on there right. It'll just spin right on. Now remember, this is your drag, so those little washers that got messed, that we took off, those are what'll happen if your drag starts getting all screwy. That could be a problem there. Not from the way we took it apart or anything, but just in general. Boom. Boom. that. Come over here. You got to line this up. Now all of them are different. Some of them have caps, some don't. All I want to do is align it, put it on there like so, just like that, almost perfect. Boom. You just don't want it to come off, because it will. Boom, like that. Now we're going to come over here, go with our spool tensioner. Now some of them are more involved than others. This one's not. This one's pretty basic. So all we're going to do is put a couple drops down in our spool tensioner. Boom. Then we just want to clean it. See how it's all gooky down in there? We just want it clean. Just get all that out of there. And we're just going to put our spool tensioner back on. Some of these are a little tricky because you got to line them up with the star drag to get them on. Boom. Now, just like every time, you're going to have to loosen up your star drag, loosen up your spool tensioner, get it dialed in back to where it was. And forgot one more place. Want to put just a drop right there and a drop right there. Boom. Because those do spin too. So make sure, take them, spin them, get them lubed up. And there you go, guys. And just like that, that's another reel back together. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I really enjoyed this Ducket reel. It works really, really well. It's a little louder than most reels that I've owned, but it's a great combo. It came into combo. I really enjoyed it, but that's going to do it for us. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully, if you're looking at doing this to your reel, understand that by doing that, you have a better chance of making sure that these things last a lot longer. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it the old thumbs up. And guys, we thank you in advance, and we thank each and every one of you for being part of this, for watching our videos and sharing us with your friends and family, and above all, thank you for your support. We couldn't do this without you. We hope you guys had a great week, great weekend, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon. Make sure you take time this week to get out there. Enjoy yourself, enjoy nature, be prepared, and stay safe. God bless, guys. We'll see you soon.